Vikings and their assistant coaches may have survived the coaching cycle. We'll get into that and much more right after this.
Let's go. Let's get in the show.
All right, conference championship games are decided. Super Bowl will be a rematch of the Chiefs and the Eagles. But even more importantly for the Minnesota Vikings, we'll get into talking about those games in a little bit here. But more importantly for our own team, the only job available right now is the New Orleans Saints job. And we all know Flores would not settle for that crap of a coaching position. And then, I guess outside of that, Udinski, Josh McCown, they're both safe. Really, the only person right now is Durante Jones, the defensive backs coach, is who I believe he did call. I believe he was the one calling plays in the preseason in that third game. He is interviewing for the Jaguars defensive coordinator position. But outside of that, every other assistant is safe. It really does feel like the Vikings are going to go into next year with the same coaching staff. So, so now we can just enjoy the rest of the season, enjoy the Super Bowl, and then really get into free agency. And the best thing about keeping the coaching staff is every coach knows what's needed on this team. So this is about as good as it could go for an offseason for the Vikings with the way the season ended. Like, none of your coordinators move on, and now you're basically set up for the offseason, and no big changes need to be made coaching staff-wise. You can roll into it with everybody that you have and see where we go from here. We have money. Hopefully Kwesi gets extended here pretty quick so that can get out of the way, and Super Bowl, let's roll.
Yeah, dude, I totally forgot. I had a wrong thumbnail. I don't know if you all saw like a crazy looking thumbnail or whatever, but
you were doing there.
Oh, you didn't know? You got to remind me about those things. I forgot.
You meant to do that. I was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
No. We got. No, I must have forgot to add it, and then it just put one on its own. But I got it now, so hopefully some people can see that. Yeah, dude. I mean, man, this has really shaken up a lot of things, like as far as coaching, and not just for us. Well, for us, it stays a lot the same, which is exactly what we want. We don't want anything to change. Best case scenario, we just keep the same coaching staff. The next throughout JJ McCarthy's rookie contract is kind of what I'm thinking. Especially, you can say what you want about Kevin O'Connell and how you feel about him as a head coach, but I don't really think there's many people out there thinking like, hey, we can go find a better defensive coordinator than Flores. So the fact that there's a great possibility he's coming back, plus McCown, and even McCown, just knowing like, hey, knowing that you got two former quarterbacks, KOC, McCown, who can mentor JJ McCarthy together.
And Udinski, don't forget about Udinski. He's
Udinski,
28 years old, which is insane.
28 years, yeah. I know, just younger
than us.
Younger than us, yeah. But no, exactly, yeah. It's everything is set for success for JJ McCarthy as far as the coaching goes. That's why we want them to be here as long as they can. As far as Flores goes, of course, I think we feel kind of confident having him kind of run things on defense in the meantime, because then if we got a different defensive coordinator, we don't really know what that's going to look like. And odds are like it's probably not going to be a better one of those. So I do think.
Yeah. And like I said, I complain about Flores as much as the next guy, but continuity is the most important thing. Cause that's the thing I always got to tell myself. Like, he didn't have all the pieces, and he made do with this defense that honestly was missing elite corners and didn't have an elite interior defensive tackle. So he did, again, 2 years in a row where it's been pretty short-staffed, you could say, at big-time positions. He was able to make it work and really make this a championship caliber defense, especially near the end of the season. So continuity is huge, and I trust Flores to get the right. Especially now with the money, just to be able to get the right guys in here. And I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this offseason. I really, really, really am.
Yeah, I know. In my opinion, and obviously we'll get into it, I know not everybody agrees, but I think extending KOC was an absolute no-brainer. So that was just the first thing. That was a huge positive thing for me. The next thing was like, if we can retain McCown and Flores, that would be massive. And so far, those things are working. Even though those guys probably deserve bigger roles, Flores deserves a head coaching job for sure at this point. But hey, man, I mean, we'll take it if we can. But before moving forward again, everybody, of course, another show, another JJ McCarthy rookie card. This guy just wins wherever he goes, including Timberwolves game where we probably had our biggest win of the season against the Nuggets. And JJ McCarthy was right there on the floor. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you have not already. All that good stuff here. Let me do some shout outs here. We had Bleeding Purple in here right away for the first comment. What's going on, Bleeding Purple? What's up, everyone? Skol. We got my guy Barber in the building. What is going on, Barber? Salih, the Vikings. What's going on, dude? And our guy Mav, man. It's been a minute, dude. What's going on? What's going on? Scoliosis in the building. Trying to get that. He's close to getting that giveaway. He's close to getting that giveaway. Nick Riley in the building. The guy who's bringing in a lot of the players. We did do some since our last show. We've put some more homework on the running back position for sure. When we go in the mock draft, we'll kind of jump into a lot of that stuff. But yeah, keep on coming, man. We're going to make this show is going to be a very hybrid draft show, I think, as we keep getting closer and closer in that direction. Obviously, we still got football yet of the season. Who else we got in here? Let's get some guards in the center. That would be nice. Hey, Big Raylan. Let's go. Let's go. Of course, Gary, the one and only, my guy. What else are we missing in here? I think Sarah's in the building. No one cares about the Super Bowl anyway, so we can just skip.
We missed this one. We missed this one. The big 5-0 for our boy Barber.
Well, Barber.
Happy birthday, my man. 50. The big 5-0.
I know you've already. I need to figure it here, Barber. I need to buy some new cards anyways. Just remind me that's your birthday, and I can get something specifically for you for sure, my man. You've been obviously you've been in here forever, and we appreciate you big time. But happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, happy birthday. But going back to Sarah, no one cares about the Super Bowl anyway, so we can just skip right to yeah, that's how I feel. Well, that's the thing is like I kind of wanna like jump in. We're sitting here like, should we talk about free agency? And we're like, I think we just have to wait until after the season's actually over. It's just too hard until it's over. Plus, there's other things we have to do still. But I feel it like at this point, let's just get to free agency.
I said that at work the other day, and I got eviscerated for saying it. It's like the biggest games of the year is still coming up. Because I mean, look, I get it. Yeah. Vikings fans hate the Eagles, and mainly their fans. The Chiefs, I 100% get it. It's kind of annoying, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's probably the best matchup we could have got. I mean, the Bills would have made for interesting football as well, obviously, but overall, I think it's about the best game we could have gotten, honestly, because the Eagles, as we've talked about, the Eagles are the most talented roster in football from top to bottom, I believe. Yeah. And we have a chance to see something that's never been done in the history of the league, and that is a team three-peating in the Super Bowl. Again, could you say how they got there is a little bit questionable, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, but either way, it's yeah, I don't know. I guess you kind of just have to say it should be a good game. I mean, yes, I understand with Vikings fans, like we don't both teams are just annoying. So it would be nice just to, the meteor would be the best case scenario, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a good football game. I really do.
And the Eagles are a great example. This is like the reason why, one of the big reasons, which I've said before, but just saying it again, the reason why I always wanted to go the JJ McCarthy route instead of paying Sam Darnold.
Quarterback $50 million a year.
I'm not even talking about, they are paying, what's his name, a bunch of money. How much it hurts? He's making a bunch of money, but it's just more, it's more of like they've developed all around great team. The year before it was the 49ers. For like the couple years, they just have the best overall team. That's something the Vikings have an opportunity to do. And if you want to go out and actually win a Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, you need that. Like Sam Darnold was never, even when he was on his top of his game and what this roster looked like, and if we were to pay him, it was never good enough to beat Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. It just isn't. The Eagles roster.
I think the big thing. Well, and the big thing you could say about the Eagles is like the positions we're talking about that we need. They haven't needed to sink money into those positions because their drafts have been amazing. I mean, their offensive line mainly drafted. I mean, Mekhi Becton was a converted tackle that they got cheap. Obviously, having Jalen Carter on that defensive interior, as well as two rookies at corner with
what's going on, T-Bass?
What's his name? The kid from Iowa.
Cooper
DeJean, as well as the kid from Tulane, whose name I always forget as well, that we liked a lot last year.
Hey, what's going on, Adam?
The corner.
From Tulane?
Yeah.
The corner from Tulane?
Corner they got in the first round?
No, that's he. Oh, well, yeah, he was from Tulane. Was
Toledo.
He? Toledo. That's not Tulane. Quentin Mitchell.
I'm forgetting his name, and it's
Mitchell. Quentin Mitchell, right?
Mitchell.
Quentin Mitchell.
Yeah, Quentin Mitchell.
Mitchell. We had this.
Obviously, I mean, Bond. Bond at linebacker has been absolutely fantastic as well. So a lot of their guys are either guys that they got from other teams for cheap or guys that they drafted. So that is the one difference with that team is they have drafted much better than. I mean, obviously, they've drafted so much better than we have. I mean, their GM is one of the top in the league, obviously. So
and so is their coach. But this is crazy. Well, look at what the Eagles.
I don't know. I think Nick Sirianni got lucky with a really talented roster.
Well, and what Kevin O'Connell has done in 3 years is like insanely better than it's literally one of the greatest start of head coach in NFL history from a winning standpoint. So that's crazy. That's a crazy shot at KOC because I don't know what you want. Because we've had a lot of shitty fucking head coaches.
Oh, and of course, the Eagles do have former Vikings first-round pick Louis Cine as well. So they really did rebuild that national championship Georgia defense. So that is
they did. Hey, up FT Maddie in the building. I've read that the Vikings are going to trade their first-round pick to Eagles for Louis Cine. I care about the Super Bowl no matter who's playing as a game. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I care about the Super Bowl. I care about it. That's why we're not going to go too far ahead. I'm not going to lie. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm ready to move on to the offseason. It'd be a lot better if Vikings were a part of it, but I feel it, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else am I missing? Hey, Crown in the building. What's going on, dude? All right, hold on. Let me make sure I'm caught up here. Okay, I think we're good here. I think we're good.
But I guess kind of before we move on, I mean, I guess we could kind of lump this in with the next topic with the Kevin O'Connell extension. But I mean, obviously, we do, like I said, Durante Jones is interviewing for the defensive coordinator in Jacksonville. Can we talk about that Jacksonville Jaguars head coaching situation and just how odd that whole timeline of events was? You heard about that, right?
Sure. I mean, as far as like nobody wants to go there.
Well, no. Well, basically from start to finish, Liam Cohen. I think Ben Johnson was their top guy, but Liam Cohen ended up being the favorite for that job. He interviewed there. They were going to line up a second interview. I guess. I mean, they all just hate Trent Baalke, the former GM. So he pulls his name out of the running. Tampa offered him just like some massive extension, to make him one of the top paid coordinators.
Oh, he was the guy that was coming from. He was the guy that was coming from the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so he was in Tampa.
Oh, dang! I thought he did sign.
He said no to the Jaguars. He didn't sign that extension yet. The Jaguars fired Trent Baalke, call him back. He decides to fly down there, basically work out the contract without telling Tampa. Tampa couldn't get in touch with him. He flies back whatever night his agent finishes the contract and tells Tampa, "Yeah, I'm going to Jacksonville." Just a crazy, crazy sequence of events where, I mean, obviously, and because basically they offered him Ben Johnson money. And they're allowing him to pick the next GM in Jacksonville. So that whole situation, just crazy. And Tampa was not very happy, and rightfully so. Like, what just an absolute bonkers turn of events. And then, I mean, just Jacksonville is such a dysfunctional organization. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Then they fire him so they can get the coach they want in the end anyway. It's so weird. It's just so weird. So weird.
All right. Update on this one more time. Really, the Eagles got him to a Super Bowl in year 2, and now they're back in a Super Bowl year 4. How about we just go find like but Patrick, we should just, if that was the case, we should just go get Patrick Mahomes. Like, why don't we just find another Patrick Mahomes? He's in his 3rd Super Bowl in a row. Why would we not just go get that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's more of the team that Howie Roseman's built and not what
I'm not taking away from him either way. Like, that team is built amazingly. And like you said, like they were able to create a stacked team on top of paying their quarterback. That is super impressive by them. I mean, but they got a really stacked team. Like KOC, I mean, he got Kirk Cousins and a team that had a lot of holes in it to begin with. And then the second year, Kirk goes down and he has a lot of random quarterbacks. And then this year he has Sam Darnold come in, and then he still gets 13 wins with Sam Darnold. Like, this isn't even the same. And the Eagles, what were the Eagles at when Sirianni came in, or whatever his name is?
I mean,
like they weren't
their first year. I don't think their first year is very good.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. Like, they've been good for a while. Trying to think. I mean, it's a long. How many years is that?
They had a down year
6 years ago.
After they started off like 10-1 last year. Then they just
right.
To the finish line.
But I mean, like not bad. They weren't bad.
Yeah.
Even though I mean, I would say the Vikings were bad either. But comparing KOC to like, all right, let's go get Andy Reid. Like I don't know. Obviously, what KOC has done in 3 years has been pretty damn impressive compared to any coach we've ever had in Vikings history. Obviously, Bud Grant's on his own little area, but
and as we talked about, all of this with multiple, 2 defensive coordinators in 3 years, and you're just rotating pieces on that defense. And at the end, the overall, not the team that they envisioned when they got here. They're working through those things. And the fact they're able to do this before, as we've said, before the big years of this team that Kwesi and him have been preparing for since they got here haven't even hit yet. So
for 3 or 4 years, it's not even close unless you believe in hanging regularly. I don't think so at all. He's not. I don't know, man. T-Baz, he hasn't even got his team yet. It's a competitive rebuild.
You have to start somewhere, and the regular season wins to build a culture of winning is where you start. If you don't see that, and I don't think I can help you see it because obviously you're so against O'Connell, you're just not going to see it anyway. So no matter what
I mean, how long was Andy Reid with Kansas City before Mahomes got there? I mean, Andy Reid did a lot, but they lost in playoffs. That Alex Smith, who was a lot. Alex Smith, who was a lot.
Mahomes is here.
And we're Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's like down here. Kirk Cousins was like, Kirk Cousins, Alex Smith. We can give a wash there. I'll give you that. Yeah, but they didn't make any Super Bowls. They didn't make no fucking Super Bowls. Like,
right. Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell does not have the same team as the Eagles have. It's just he never has. No. In his first 3 years, it's been some dysfunction for sure. But things change after this year. Next year, if our team shits the bed and it's a lot the same, and it's not just because of JJ McCarthy, then I could see that. Like after this year is when I think it's fair to criticize Kevin O'Connell more significantly. But up to this point, I feel like he's beat my expectations. I wasn't expecting him to come and win a Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes with this team. Right.
And you're not gonna not extend him, because if you don't, then you're going into the last year of his contract, which is just a dumb idea because it's just not. You don't want a lame duck coach. You just do not. That's not a scenario you want to find yourself in.
No.
And the whole thing can just go pear-shaped early if the team starts to struggle. I don't know. I just don't understand the KOC hate because he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. Like neither is Matt LaFleur. I know Matt LaFleur has playoff wins. I get that, but Matt LaFleur hasn't made a Super Bowl yet, and he's still considered one of the top coaches in football. So I mean, I don't know.
We were supposed to be a 6.5 win team. Like, and no one was expecting us. I mean, I think we should have won a playoff game, but you're against, like, the Rams are not a bad team. There's no reason why we for sure should just beat the Rams. We have
the Rams have a legitimate offense, like 2 good receivers
and and
really
Matt
good running back, solid offensive line, and a veteran quarterback in Stafford. I don't know. I don't the Kevin O'Connell hate. I've heard all this culture crap. See, this is just I don't know. I just don't.
I don't know. I think it's way too early to call Kevin.
Important. The culture thing, now that you have money, is what's going to draw players in. Because I mean, the money talks, right? But again, like I said, if you have 2 different jobs and one of them sells you on the culture and they're going to pay you the same, you're going to take the job that has the better culture. Like that's what you want. A culture of, guess what? If you come here 2 out of the 3 years I've been here, you're going to get to the playoffs. Now, if we get better players, you're going to help take us from a one and done in the playoffs to who knows how far we could go in the playoffs. So culture, for people that don't want to say culture matters, you don't know what you're talking about. Culture is 100%
especially, and if you think you need a hard-nosed coach like a Mike Zimmer in today's NFL, no, whether you like it or not, players these days, whether it's you're mad at the generation, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because it's the generation that's playing football right now. They want to play who they want to play with, and they don't want to play with some asshole who doesn't take any responsibility for his team winning or losing. Kevin O'Connell does that. Everybody wants to play for him. Him in general brings people here. And we were talking Brian Flores and McCown. They're not going anywhere unless they were to get a big head coach opportunity. That shows you a lot of why Kevin O'Connell is important. That's like a super underrated thing. Not even the players don't want to leave. The coaches don't want to leave. Nobody wants to leave. And people would, and hopefully this creates a destination where other people want to go. And again, like Kevin O'Connell, he hasn't even had his team yet. He had Sam Darnold this year. Like, I don't know. I'm not putting all of that on Kevin O'Connell right now until you have your team, which I do think this is when it starts.
And this right here, he was brought here to exactly Scolios is brought here to get his quarterback in development. We haven't even seen him have a chance to do that yet. What have we seen though? Best season and a half of Kirk Cousins' career, best season of Sam Darnold's career. If that doesn't get you excited for what this guy can do with JJ McCarthy, you just don't want to be excited about Vikings football or Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, right.
That's all it comes down to.
And if you don't understand how important their plan, not just him, but Kwesi's overall plan is for us to actually contend with the Super Bowl and actually go for a Super Bowl, create a team that can win a Super Bowl instead of like, you just hope we make playoffs and we win a game. And then like, we're good. And like, people think like, oh, like the whole Sam Darnold thing. That's why it was crazy to me, because it was like, do you really think this team with Sam Darnold getting paid $40 million a year is going to be good enough to go beat Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen? It's like, in my opinion, I just don't see there's any way. Your team ain't good. There's too many holes here. Now you have to take a chance that JJ McCarthy can be that guy, which I do think he can be, but he'll also potentially have the best possible team. Of course, it all starts on the trenches for us, but we're going to have enough money this year. We have the draft capital, obviously. Kwesi has to hit on those picks. But we have the money this year. We have the money next year. We have money that we'd never even had before in recent memory. And we should be able to hit on at least some of those to fill a lot of those holes and make this a really complete team that will set everything up for success for JJ McCarthy, in my opinion.
What's going on, DeMarcio? What do you guys think of Najee Harris? I say draft one. I kind of agree here. Like I wouldn't hate bringing back either Akers or Jones, but I say draft one.
The only way I would say to go with Najee is if we didn't bring Aaron Jones back and we drafted more of a elusive style running back.
Who could you be thinking of?
Well, I mean, even that guy, we'll go into it, but even that guy, I feel like he's going to be a little bit more than, I think he has enough to be a little bit more than that. But like, I'm trying to think of like Najee Harris would be good for like the little short yardage, taking a lot of carries type of thing that we do need. Like Aaron Jones and Najee Harris combo would be pretty good, I think. But yeah. So I would only take him in that scenario is if like if we had another running back that could bring like the speed and elusiveness.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm cool with Aaron Jones. I want to draft a running back really bad. So any other free agent running backs, honestly, I don't even care. I bring Aaron Jones back because I like Aaron Jones, and at least just in case, like if you end up not being able to get a guy that you want, because so far looking at running backs, there's like a group of running backs so far looking at it where it's like, yes, I want one of these ones, and then it kind of feels like a drop off to me a little bit. So
absolutely. But I guess anyway,
he does have to turn.
Lost 25. Well, he'll put it back. He'll put it back on.
He does need to put it back. I'll give you that. Like that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about, but
he's fine. He'll be just fine. They'll feed him. They'll put him on some diet plan. He'll get it back. But anyway, Kevin O'Connell, most of us can agree. Great extension. He's done it with multiple defensive coordinators, and it's worked out great. Someone we haven't seen have success without his coordinators is the name escapes me. That's the one right there. Is Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell.
Obviously losing Ben Johnson, losing Aaron Glenn. Now he's gonna have to get those guys back. Obviously, we all know Dan Campbell, rah coach. People love playing for him. He's a football guy, former player. He's got the attitude people like. He's gonna build people up. He's risky. He goes for it on fourth down. He's a guy you would love to have as your head coach. But we haven't really seen him have success without these coordinators here. So, look, this is going to be a big season for the Lions, and losing those coordinators. That's why this division is going to be so unpredictable going into next year. Is because every team. The Packers are going to be the most stable team. Who knows? Again, they're still working through. Did they make the right decision signing Jordan Love? We've seen some good, seen a lot of good, also seen a lot of bad from him as well. So it's this division is going to be completely up in the air next year. Every team has gone through massive changes.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, dude, 4 more days. 4 more days. I'll be there with you. I was gonna say, yeah, dude. I mean, 100%. This is it's gonna hurt the Lions significantly. I mean, I know you're not a Campbell guy at all. I like Dan Campbell. I think that dude's got.
No, it's not that I'm not a Campbell guy at all. I just think that I just think that eventually the rah thing kind of runs out, and like
maybe I don't know. I respect Dan Campbell. That dude's got a pair on him, and I respect that. So I like Dan Campbell. It'll be interesting to see what happens when there's new coordinators in there. I think they're going to be all right. But you lost two. I mean, the what Glenn did with that defense with those injuries, and obviously what Ben Johnson is on offense, that's significant. And I think that's going to hurt them pretty bad. I don't know what their cap situation's looking like, but man, they're, these last 2 years, it really felt, especially hearing from the fan bases and stuff like that, like these last 2 years was kind of like their main part of their window here. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with the Lions moving forward. And then obviously, like you said, the Packers, I mean, us and the Packers, we're kind of the same. The biggest difference for us is obviously we're going to have a new quarterback in there in JJ McCarthy, which is really significant. Could be a positive thing, but another positive thing for us is we're also should be able to fill some of those holes there. So I'm really liking us going into next season for sure. And then the Bears, man, I mean, it'll be interesting. You feel like Ben Johnson will come in. Obviously, being a coordinator is still different being a head coach. We've seen a lot of good offensive minds become head coaches or defensive minds become head coaches, and it doesn't work out for them. So it'll be interesting to see how all that kind of stuff works out there. But
for Ben Johnson and the Bears, the big thing is just coming in and making and just getting a solid season out of that offense. If he can come in and just do that, just win more than 4 games, just make this offense with a little bit more flow, fix that offensive line, it's going to be a successful first season for him, right? And he'll learn the head coaching stuff kind of as he goes. But for them, they brought him here to get the most out of Caleb Williams. So that's really going to be what's like the Bears again. They might win 6-7 games, but if that offense clicks and Caleb Williams looks like what he did in college, and he has time, he doesn't get sacked 80 million times in a year, it's going to be a successful season for Ben Johnson. But still, no one really knows. No one knows how he's going to be as head coach, and we're going to find out a lot this next year. And that's why I don't think I get the Vikings have a tough schedule, but again, this entire division is going to be completely different next year. So that's why it really does still feel like it's anybody's game or anybody's division to go in there and take. So
yeah. And then so 50 million next year. So yeah, the Lions still are obviously in a good situation. It sounds like. Obviously, again, losing those coordinators, it'll be interesting to see how significant that is. But it definitely should make, like, I can't imagine they'll be as good as this year, but at the same time, they dealt with a lot of injuries and stuff. So it'll be interesting. Aiden Hutchinson too being back there.
Well, that's
well. So that's going to be a big one.
And then whatever they do in the draft this year. So we'll see. Time will tell. Yep.
I don't want my coach crying at the podium. Kevin O'Connell would never. He would never do that. Hot tea bass. He would never. 30 beers, $20 cheap. Let's go. Again, everybody, giving away the JJ McCarthy rookie card. Get the hashtag Skol in the comments. Like the video and subscribe for your chance to win this card.
We only have 31 people watching, only 11 likes, so we're gonna need a little bit better. Get those likes in here. Hashtag Skols in the likes. Get them in here. Green Bay has 62 million in cap space. Now that sounds weak compared to us. Sounds weak. They need to go spend some money on some receivers still. Yeah, exactly.
Or but draft one. They ain't. What if they got T. Higgins? That would be crazy.
Something.
I wouldn't like that.
Me neither.
He's healthy. Keeping on rolling here though. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of this season. So we'll have a little bit more off-season stuff to talk about. We're kind of, like I said, holding off on going too deep into free agency just yet. We already started the mocks. If you've been in here or not, we started those. Getting rolling on our side as far as getting ready for the draft. I know some of you guys have definitely started on that. But jumping into just these last weekend's games, I guess in my opinion, they both kind of went. If you were going to tell me how I expected these ones to go, I probably would have said pretty similar. I would have probably said, like, the Eagles ended up winning probably more than I was expecting because no one really expects a team to get 50 points on anybody. Yeah. But I knew we felt pretty confident. Like, I just, against this Eagles team, Jaden Daniels, like, I like him a lot, but you're a rookie. It's going to be tough against this team that's so well-rounded. And Saquon Barkley, man, what a fucking stud that guy is.
You can't turn the ball over that many times. That's another thing too. Against a team that is as well-rounded and stacked as that Eagles team is, pretty much at all positions, you cannot give an offense that explosive that many extra possessions on short fields. Like that was kind of the nail in the coffin for that team. Like, again, amazing season by them. No one would have ever expected them to make it all the way to the NFC title game. So I mean, obviously for them, it's a good foundation to build off of. It's what you wanted. I mean, obviously it's better than you can ask for with a rookie quarterback in here, plus another team that still needs some help in certain spots. Honestly, talk about T. Higgins to them, to the Commanders would be
huge.
Probably the best thing possible. That would be really interesting to see if that happens. But I mean, it's just like, for them, it's a foundation, it's a stepping stone, it's a building block that we did this already, and our team's still not even that good. Like, we can add more pieces. So for them, that's huge. But the Eagles, man, like that roster is in win now mode. They have been for the last couple of years. They have the quarterback. They have 2 stud receivers. They have Saquon Barkley. That offensive line is young. I mean, I know a little bit dinged up after the game yesterday, but they're going to be just fine. And, Dallas Goedert had a huge game yesterday. And that defense from front to back is absolutely stacked. Again, I personally think that they are the most talented roster in football. And when you look at the Chiefs, the Chiefs are just good. They find ways to win. Mahomes, obviously, look, you can complain about the refs all you want when watching those games, but just watching Mahomes play football is just something otherworldly. Like, the guy is just a master. He knows what he's doing. He's smart in the pocket. He can get out of the pocket. He knows where the defense is going to be. He's just brilliant. And then Steve Spagnuolo, I mean, obviously that defense, I know the first couple years of him being there Mahomes being there wasn't that great, but recently that defense has been absolutely monster. Obviously Chris Jones in the middle, and just like Allen said on the sack yesterday that basically ended the game. I mean, Allen was luckily able to get that ball downfield to where it should have been caught by Kincaid.
Hey, what up, bro?
What's going on, Rap? But like Josh Allen said after the game, it's like, yeah, I mean, he on my cadence, that corner didn't on my first hard count, the corner didn't even flinch. I didn't know he was coming. Take the snap and boom, there he is. Like, just excellent and disciplined defense by the Chiefs. And that's just one of the things. Like, that Chiefs coaching staff is elite as well. Like, that's the reason why they're going to have a chance to three-peat. And it's just, look, I love the Bills, but that defense wasn't up to par, as we know. I mean, a lot of injuries. And kind of coming into the year, people kind of suspected that defense would be the downfall of this team, and they were. I mean, Josh Allen did all he could, but it came down to, we knew it was going to be, first off, had an opportunity to go down and get ahead, which Mahomes probably would have drove down the field and scored anyway. But that defense had an opportunity to keep them to keep them to a 3-and-out and have a chance to go down and win the game with no time left. But the big thing that's the thing we talked about with O'Connell being aggressive is, we have seen in our past where on that last drive the Chiefs had, we would have probably ran the ball 3 times, tried to waste as much clock as we could and punted. And like Tony Romo said, like, you don't take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen's hands in this scenario. And what did they do? 3rd down, they passed it for a 1st down, game over. Like, it's just like, that's the difference between a team like the Chiefs and the other 29 teams that weren't playing in championship weekend, right? Just these teams are just, so I do think when you look at the 4 teams that were left this weekend, the best and most talented teams are playing in the Super Bowl in my mind. The best, most talented, and again, I don't think Nick Sirianni is that great of a coach. Again, really talented roster, great GM, but that's the most talented team versus an amazing coaching staff that just so happens to have Patrick Mahomes and a lot of really, really good pieces. And like a guy like Xavier Worthy, who started off kind of slow, but he's came on for them when they needed receivers.
Right.
It's just, I think the 2 best teams are playing in the Super Bowl, as much as people probably don't want to admit it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I would say, I mean, Kansas City, I would say you take Patrick Mahomes off there, I don't know if I consider them. I mean, they're definitely up there in talent or whatever. Yeah. But with Patrick Mahomes is just insane. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta, like, if you want to win a Super Bowl in the next handful of years, you got to get Patrick Mahomes. Like, you just know. And I feel bad for Josh Allen. We both were kind of rooting for the Bills. I have nothing. I like Kansas City and I like Mahomes. I don't care. I've talked about it before. I don't care
History,
about
man.
the whole Taylor Swift thing. I don't care about anything like that. It is cool. I know you do. I think it is cool to see. I'm cool with history being made and stuff like that, especially, when it's not our history getting ruined or whatever. Like if we were the ones with 2 Super Bowls, it'd be a whole different ball game. But so I didn't really care about that. But it's just like I'm ready to see something new, and I like Josh Allen, and I was hoping that he was going to do something. But going into that game, like I said in the beginning of this, is these games ended kind of went exactly how I expected. And I knew I had, like, if I was going to say how was that game with the Bills in Kansas City going to go, I thought it was going to be a war and come down to just either Patrick Mahomes has enough time to go win the game, or he has enough time to just seal it the way he did. And like, you can't, like, you lost. Like when they didn't convert that fourth, you just know that like Patrick Mahomes is 10 out of 10 times you're not getting the ball back from him. He's just so good in those, and everyone wants to call him overrated as soon as possible. And this is why you can't. Like, this dude's on his way to 3 Super Bowls in a row, could win first time ever. And the thing that makes him so special, besides the fact that he's already arguably one of the most talented especially from an arm talent standpoint ever, but it's just his mind. Like, this dude is built for this stuff. He steps up in the biggest moments. Like, I don't care how he played in the regular season. Most people say he kind of had a mid-regular season, but once it's playoff times, that's the same with Tom Brady. As soon as people said Tom Brady was going to be washed, as soon as playoffs came around, he stepped up and won a Super Bowl. Like, that's why those guys are just different. That's why we need to hope JJ McCarthy just has that kind of. That's asking for a lot.
But Josh Allen is. I do think he's that guy as well. Especially this year, he proved that a lot to me. But
yeah,
I mean, but again, like that, and just that last play. But that was just a chess match between their offense and that defensive and Steve Spagnuolo dialing up that blitz at just the right time. Like Romo said, like they were not expecting it. They hadn't seen it all game, and they were waiting for that moment to call that blitz. And what a perfect opportunity to do it. And just phenomenal, man. Just phenomenal. And again, that is where, like you said, the Chiefs might not be the most talented team out there, but they are probably one of the best coached teams out there, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
You could say they are. You could argue that they're the best coached team in the NFL and have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then they are up there in talent too. Like they got, especially. I mean, imagine if this is all without Rice. Like, imagine if they had Rice all this whole season. Well, and like, it's crazy how they can bring Hunt off the freaking. I don't even know Hunt was on a team. They took him. Yeah, they took him off the couch, and he's looking like his old self again. Like, what is going on with that?
Yeah.
So just studs, man. Obviously, that was not surprising. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a tough battle, but I would have to say I feel like this Eagles team can give Kansas City a run for their money better than we saw from the 49ers squad a couple years ago. They're just they got so much more. I mean, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy, even though Jalen Hurts hasn't been like, Superman recent, but with Saquon
he looked good yesterday.
He looked good yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see there. I have tons of Eagles cards, and I know none of us want the Eagles to win, but I got to look in my pockets this next couple weeks.
I know we're not supposed to like the Eagles because their fans suck and the NFC Championship game or whatever. I get all that, but I do like a lot of players on that Eagles team. Like I love Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's just been a good dude since he got into the league, even back in college. I really appreciate Saquon Barkley. Like, he's the guy that's basically, well, not single-handedly, I shouldn't say, but he's like the head of the bringing the running backs back to the forefront again. I like AJ Brown. I like Devonta Smith. Like, there are a lot of players I really, really like. I do like a lot of players on that Eagles team, and that a lot of really exciting young players on that defense as well. So I don't know. If the Eagles win, I'm not going to be that mad. Because it's not like it's not the same feeling I have for the Saints, where the Saints like cheated, obviously, with Bountygate to win that game. The Eagles just kicked their asses when we played them.
I mean, I don't like the Eagles. I will say I do not like the Eagles. The fact that I will make more money if they win, I don't hate them that bad. If it was the Packers, that's different. Like anyone in our division, like, fuck no, I don't care how much money I'm gonna make. If you're not in our division, the money thing wins. If money wasn't a part of this, I would always root against the Eagles at this point. Just because, I mean, I think the throwing like Philly fans they do suck.
Again, the players, Philly fans suck. Saquon Barkley wasn't there. The players did not. That's why I said I know the fans. I wanted to put that out there because I know if I didn't say that, people wouldn't hear it right and overreact. The fans, I get that. But the team themselves, I don't like Sirianni.
I don't. The team
really not that talented at coaching. But some of the players on that team, I really do respect. And like, I would love to see Barkley.
The fans
I would love to see Barkley go get a ring. Personally.
I like to play. I'm cool. I like Devonta Smith. I like AJ Brown. I like Saquon. I mean, you gotta love him. Getting disrespected from the Giants, looking the stud he is this year, and end up winning. So I don't know. It will. It's going to be a good one, though. I think I like if it was Philly versus the Bills, I would have legit told you I think the Philly is going to win this game. I would have picked Philly to win that game. I just think they're way too talented to lose against them. So even though obviously they could, but anyways.
But I think one of the big things though that I'll end on here is like I get it. Like during the middle of like the Tom Brady dynasty, obviously you got sick of the Patriots. Like, and I think obviously that's the point. That's the point we're at with the Chiefs right now too, where people are just tired of it. Like they've won 2 in a row. They've been to how many in a row now? Like they're just Taylor Swift, the Kelsey brothers, Mahomes. Like it's all just this huge overarching. Which now we're going to get Kelsey brothers stuff all week or for the next 2 weeks now, since again, Super Bowl or whatever. But like all of that, I get why people would be so kind of frustrated and done with the whole Chiefs, whatever. But I do think when you really take a step back and you just look at the appreciation and when you just look at what Mahomes and this Chief team is doing, it is cool to be like, because again, I didn't really get to appreciate like the early Tom Brady years, but getting to watch this entire run of Mahomes. And literally, you are kind of witnessing history. You might be witnessing the next GOAT who's going to probably challenge Tom Brady for that title. Yeah, when you take a step back and look at it that way, it is kind of cool, right? Like we're right in the midst of greatness by watching Mahomes play football. And again, you can say what you want about the refs, but you can't take away the way that Mahomes plays football when he's not, late sliding.
He's not care. He's someone that you could argue like, they won more games because of the refs or whatever, but it doesn't take away from Mahomes actually being the best quarterback in the NFL. Like he just is. With refs, without refs, he just is. Maybe it's just extra unfair because of the refs, but no matter what, I don't care what anybody says, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. It's not even a question.
It's not a debate.
If you don't think so, then I think you're just being a hater.
Yeah.
If you just say that, it's just there's no reason to think that in my opinion. But anyways, let's keep moving forward. Again, everybody giving away the JJ McCarthy card. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into some mock draft stuff here. Skipped one. Oh, wait. There we go. Some mock drafts. So probably, we could do I don't really know a lot of the players around in the 5th round, but we could do, we only have 4 picks or whatever. If you want to bring it up, since you kind of roll with that anyways. But all right, this is where, so you all need to give us some ideas. There's a running back that I do really like.
Just 5.
5. We don't need a 7.
And then slow, fast, medium.
Just not super slow. We'll kind of look at it all here. If you want to share your screen.
I'm working on that right now. Probably have to see here. Zoom in a little.
Zoom in a little bit.
24. Everything look good? Speed and all that?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Are we just going to let it run right to our pick? Is that the plan?
I say let's just let it run to our pick. Okay. See what everybody thinks. People pick some players around our spot here coming up. Phil Johnson.
Ashton Genty to the Dolphins. Interesting.
Kenneth Grant's gone. Kenneth Grant's already.
Sawyer, I love it. I hate it. If you're going BPA,
yeah. Omari and Hampton. So we've watched him, and I know I saw Nick Riley talking about it earlier that he would be willing to take him. Hampton would be a beast for this team. I think defensive tackle, defensive interior would be by far the highest priority in this round, just because it's really hard to find other good players from that position. Unlike running back, there's so many running backs in this one that you could find some other studs, but Hampton is a guy. That dude's massive and obviously, athletic for his size. And, he's a guy that I think we could have and literally be everything we'd want from him. But, he kind of, to me, kind of reminds me of Saquon in a little bit, obviously slower than Saquon and stuff, but for his size and his movements, man, I mean, this guy does have a little twitch to him, which I do really like to see. Hey, what up, Darren?
What's going on, Darren?
So I do think that's an option. You got Tyreek Williams. I know we've looked at him before. I haven't actually watched him yet. We haven't gotten into defensive interior too much yet.
You got Barron, but I know a lot of people liked. I saw Dan bring up Trey Amos. I don't think we've looked at him yet. What we got? 6'1", 190. I do like that. Solid in
number one pick
coverage and run defense.
You're sounding like too evil now, T-Bass. Who they got at DT? Because that's the only other route I would go.
Yeah, and it's not at this point. I mean, maybe, and I think you, Nick, you watch a lot more college ball than we do. Is there anybody here that you would take in this spot? Because I mean, what we've done what?
Or would you?
We've done 2 or 3 of these now, and every time we've ended up trading back, just because we didn't love what was available. But
Amos is one of my guys. Amos is one of my guys too. Battle tested. Walter Nolan.
We did look at him last time, but would you take him at 24, or would you think that's worth a trade?
No, I think we'd trade back.
Yeah,
for that. At least this point, until we feel very confident in him ourselves.
Yeah, like you do have.
I think we do a little trade back here.
We have 2 options. We have the Giants at pick 34, or the Niners at pick 43. So we'd be trading completely out of the first round.
34, you're gonna get Nolan. So 34. I mean, if I could go for 65.
So 34, 65 for 24, and 63% chance. I mean, they want to come up to the first round, so I think this is fair.
Sounds fair to me. What up, Steve? Don't be mocking drafting players like Packers want Jamie and Casey. Packers aren't getting nobody, dude. They're gonna have a bad draft this year.
Let's try this.
Go even higher, to be honest, in real life. I think you could go even higher, to be honest, in real life. Okay. Higher than 24 or higher than 34? You think you could go higher than 24? Maybe. I don't even know. I don't have a great opinion on that yet.
What do you think? Offering this up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We might as well. We'll play the mock game. We're not gonna, as the season goes on, we're not gonna be able to get some of these players. Last year, in all of our drafts last year, we picked JJ McCarthy in the second round.
TJ
and then
Sanders.
Obviously we know how that went.
Walter Nolan made it. I mean, at this point, even this, based on their, I mean, again, we want a guy with a little more. I mean, again, we haven't watched yet, but based on PFF stuff, that's what you're going to go off of. Pass rush doesn't look like it's his strong suit. 6'3", 327. You do love to see that. But
you can tell. I haven't even looked at his first look, but you can already tell by his PFF grade that this dude probably has just ton of upside, which is something that we'll learn more about later.
I mean, are we feeling Nolan here?
I think he could go higher than 24, to be honest. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how things go.
So at this point, getting him at 34 would be huge. And I know we did kind of look at his stuff last time. I mean, hits that 300 mark, 6'3", 6 sacks last year. Solid all around. I don't hate it.
And I like Sanders based on what we've seen here, as far as like, he's definitely a pass rushing guy. He just went. Oh,
yeah.
But he's kind of small.
Yeah.
Weird. So Williams is there. I say let's go with Nolan. We'll just keep this. I say we go with Nolan here.
Okay. First spot done. If that's how we came out of at that spot, it'd be great, and see what we get. I do feel like we might have a potential out of running back or 2 that we like at 65. I know last time
Johnson's gone.
The 3 we wanted got taken right before 97, which was disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not as big on Samson as they are in this draft.
Remember, we went with this guy last time. In the second round, Tyler Brooks.
So we're right here. Obviously, we need a running backs. Oh wow, I didn't know we had the first round pick of the third. Dylan Gabriel. No, I'm just kidding. So we do got some good guys here. We got Henderson, Devin Neal, Judkins, my boy RJ Harvey, Giddens. So I wanted to do. So far from what I've looked, I haven't looked at Dean yet, but so far from what my early draft crush in this one is RJ Harvey. To me, I think he is going to be this year's Bucky Irving. I think he's the most agile, shiftiest running back I've seen in this draft. He is a little bit small, but he has, but he also, even with his size, I mean, he does pretty well after contact, all these good things, what they got at cornerback. Yeah, check cornerback. Because I, in my opinion, in that third round, I'm hoping Harvey's there by then.
We could appease Rap and just with one of our later picks, which I guess Kobe Bryant's really shined at the Senior Bowl this week as well.
Yeah,
so that's a guy. So again, that's a guy we could target a little bit later on. I mean, obviously, I think he'll still be there. Again, it might be a reach at some of our other picks, but
he said Thomas smash it. Oh, okay. Hey, click it real quick. I want to look at it.
I mean, 6'2", you love the size, 198, good in coverage, solid against the run. Obviously, something you can learn.
I mean, we'll trust Nick here for now. I mean, there's no reason why we can't. Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, and hope that last time all three of those running backs that we wanted kind of went right before our pick. There goes Henderson.
I'm trying to think. I'm going to lose on Harvey again. I really want Harvey. As far as
we might have to fight here. Let's see.
RJ Harvey's gone. Well, we don't have to fight because this is obvious.
So we roll Quinshon Judkins, correct?
Yeah, but before you start that, I am going to bring up Harvey here.
Where do you end up going? Cleveland?
Yeah. I think Harvey's a sub because I do think Harvey's an actual possibility. Maybe Judkins is too. At least this point. So I wanted to go through some of this because he is my early crush in here. So we're gonna come back to this mock draft. Give me a second here. So this is something we want to do. So if anybody has players that they really want to look at as we go on and we do a lot of these drafts, let us know. We're willing to pop up on here and kind of look at some highlights or whatever you want from these players. Because I do think it's our job as a community to kind of figure out who we all think is going to be studs here. But this is my first one. This is a guy that is projected around our pick in the 3rd round at this point. I think he's someone that should go much higher than this. I think he's arguably the most agile running back in this entire draft. Honestly, it's a straight agility, just a little bit small here. But let's go through a little bit of Harvey here because he has some cuts that just make you, I don't even know. But let's roll through this.
An Arkansas high school coaching legend, RJ Harvey, takes the handoff, running the sweep.
Did it freeze for you?
A little bit, yeah, a little laggy.
A lot of room, RJ Harvey. An Arkansas high school coaching legend, RJ Harvey, takes the handoff, running the sweep left. A lot of room, RJ Harvey. There he goes! RJ Harvey inside the 20, a foot race. And
we need a bruiser at running back. I'm not convinced by that. And honestly, I think RJ Harvey, it just depends. I want the best running back. I don't think we necessarily need a bruiser, especially where you're at. Like if we're sitting in the 3rd round, I want the best running back. I'm not going to just pick I think you go for best available at that point. This guy's a little bit smaller, but he still is good in contact.
Everyone thought Bucky Irving was too small. Look what he did.
Everyone thought Bucky Irving, yeah, and he's the best running back from last year's draft, like without a question.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else is. I mean, for me, it's laggy. It's a little laggy. I don't know if
it is laggy.
Native.
Yeah.
Takes a high snap, trying to pick his way forward. He's in for the touchdown.
Let me try this.
I think for next time, if there's a guy like, the best idea would be to maybe download or cut up the video first, or cut up some highlights first.
That's too much work.
I know, but
here, let's try that. Still laggy?
That was better. A little bit.
Ooh.
He does have that, gets outside.
Dude, there's nobody out there doing that. Like even Dylan, like I like Samson, but I didn't like him as much as Harvey. It's just Harvey's different. Like Harvey's cutting it's like an elite trait. It's an elite trait. Look at that. He ain't just falling either. Like, look at that.
And the thing, when he gets into the open field, he just has that second gear. There's a lot of running backs you watch that just don't have that.
He just doesn't get it. He just always has so much space next to him, like all the time. Boom. Like, look at that. And boom, keep going. Keep going. Like, too easy. Too easy. Maybe do some short with cut-ups of suggested players. We'll probably have some stuff like that. Guys playing against Sam Houston. Yes, it should be easy.
Yeah, but I mean, but again, it's like, yes, competitions, whatever, but you just see things that will work in the NFL, you know?
Yeah.
It's more of the traits when you look at guys like this.
I mean, Saquon played for Pitt,
quote unquote, smaller schools, but yet they were still ranked 15, so they still were good. Catch the ball on wheel routes. But see,
like I've watched a lot of running backs. I've watched 20 running backs already. Nobody creates as much space as this guy does. Not a single one. Which I'm not saying he's the best one, but I'm talking like I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. All right, we'll go for like one more minute. Like boom, like look, come on.
Well, and it's not just outside.
This isn't not everybody's doing this stuff.
Well, and it's not like he's just running outside, like he's running up the gut too. And
boom, come on now. Nobody's doing that. You go find another running back in this draft that's doing that. There isn't one. There isn't one running back that's doing that in this draft. Just destroys that guy. Just destroys him. Like, look at that. Come on. Come on. No. Like that, not everybody's doing that. I'm telling y'all. I love some Harvey here.
Home run hitter is really what you'd be getting there, you know?
Yeah, that's something I'm seeing out of Caleb Johnson too. Is like he doesn't have as much. He's for his size and his speed to his size is insane. He's a big home run hitter for sure, but he does lack some elusiveness. Exactly, Dan. That's what I'm saying. Like really good. Like so good that you do not see that. And it's not even just that. The biggest thing for him, he is a little bit smaller. But the thing for him is he's also not going to go down easy. Like, look at that. Like, there's something I look at with running backs where when they try to make cuts, it's like a stutter step thing. Like, look at that. Just instant. Just creates... All right. Nah, I could just watch this whole thing, but I won't do that. We could bring other players if anyone else has any other players. Obviously, as we keep going and do a little bit more draft stuff, like I want to go on here and we can go through some of these people because I want to see why someone likes a player instead of, just saying like, oh, this guy's good or whatever. Like I want to make sure y'all can kind of pick up some players that you guys like as well as we go forward. But for right now, I'm a big Harvey guy. I do like a lot of like Judkins right here. In my opinion, at this point, this would be a no-brainer.
I mean, and again, he's different, like not very elusive, but he is going to be a guy he's got speed. He's more of just going to try to run through people than try to run around them when you watch him, but he's tough to bring down. I like him. I mean, if he's here and you're looking and Kwesi really wants to grab a running back, I think you kind of got to pull the trigger there, don't you think?
I think it's a significant. Go to running backs real quick. So to me, I haven't watched some of these guys. I haven't made it through yet.
I mean, I know he's doing really well at Senior Bowl too, from the sounds of it. Ollie Gordon.
Is he Gordon? So I'll be watching some more of these guys. But as far as the ones I did watch, I would say Judkins is like it's like a big gap. This is where the gap happens. Yeah. After Judkins, after RJ, like I like even Giddens. Like I like Giddens, but there feels like a drop off between him and RJ Harvey, Judkins, Travion Henderson, obviously Scatterboot, like all those other guys. Yeah. I would say there's a big drop off. So
did you watch ETN yet?
No, I haven't watched him yet. No.
How low is Scatterboot? Scatterboot must got taken already, huh? Yeah, he's not on here. Damn.
Who are you talking about, Nick Riley?
Gordon. Ollie Gordon.
Oh, Ollie Gordon. Yeah. I haven't watched him yet, so I'll have to see. You like him more than RJ Harvey? I'd be surprised. Let's see. RJ, that's what the thing is, like looking out for like just something someone can do that no one else can.
He might mean more than Judkins, potentially. I don't know if that's what he's talking about or not, but
what's that?
Gordon, he might be talking Gordon more than Judkins, not Harvey.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You like him more here.
Or I think he just means in general, like basically saying like he passed on running back now.
Yeah, he passed.
Come back around to him later. But I don't know. I can't. I got to go Judkins.
I can't do that. I don't have the balls yet, Nick. I need to get more knowledge before I can pass up guys like Judkins. Yeah. What's going on, Jed?
We're going to go ahead and we're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with some Quinshon Judkins.
Let's go with it. Steve, we're going over our time right now for this one, but dude, we'll definitely get you on. Anybody who wants to come on and do a mock. But if you were to hop on and do a mock, we would just pick the Vikings. We would just have you be the Packers.
I think I just saw Tennessee went with Quinn Ewers in this draft. Replace Tannehill with some Quinn Ewers.
I'd take him over both of them. All right. Well, I'll watch Gordon and see how I feel about it. But I mean, who knows?
All right. So now we're sitting here, pick 139. Now this is where we're gonna need a little bit of help because I don't think we're this deep in anything yet.
No.
I see a couple available? Gophers. See Ja Joyner. See Cody Lindenberg at linebacker.
I mean, at this point, you just go with depth.
Yeah.
At positions, which is obviously we all know cornerback, offensive tackle, still offensive or defensive line.
Rutgers running back. I think T-Bass has brought him up before. And I know he was out when the Gophers played him, but yeah, they're pretty high on him. They're pretty high on him as well. Ewers, no thanks. I was an Ewers guy kind of coming into this year, but yeah, he definitely was not all that exciting this time around here. I don't know. What are we thinking? I like I said, at this point, I don't really know. But
I would say go scroll down.
Let's just see. Let's go interior. And this guy's right at kind of the average
130. I mean, I would click him real quick. I mean, at this point, getting a center at any point in this would be really nice. I mean, pass block, I would prefer a little bit. I mean, he's just kind of good all around. Ooh, I like the size.
What about Ashton Genty? Yeah, getting Ashton Genty in this round would be great.
I mean, I would have Gent. There's some guys I have over. I like Harvey though, man.
Did I see someone mention Majors earlier on? I thought I saw Jake Majors. Okay, maybe it was you. Yeah. I mean, again, run block grade kind of low, but the 85 pass block grade, 6'3".
I like that.
Pull the trigger. I like it.
What is he projected at though?
I mean, 159.
What's our next pick?
161.
Who said Majors? He said, let's go with Dan.
Dan mentioned it earlier, and then Nick mentioned it as well.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger on Majors here, I think.
I like it. Filling a need there for sure. Cody Lindenberg went to Jacksonville. We got one left. All right. So we haven't snagged should we? I mean, I know again maybe a little overdraft, but I know Rap loves him from Kobe Bryant.
Is that 214? Dang it, that's our last pick.
Hey, like I said, overdraft, but run defense grade
right.
good, solid in coverage.
I mean, this is Rap's guy. He's standing out big time in the Senior Bowl. This is an overdraft now. Will it be an overdraft in the upcoming months? Probably not. I mean, I'm okay. Cover Bryant or Muhammad. Cover Bryant. Kobe Bryant, he's saying. Yeah. I say it's an overdraft right now, but honestly, I bet you see that change at the end of the Senior Bowl here. So, hey, we take that.
If this is how it went down, you're not gonna find me complaining. I mean,
I'd be mad.
F. I mean, I mean, obviously they're gonna grade those too bad. I mean,
they give
it
us
is what it
midges.
is. B for a grade. I mean, look, filling needs will also kind of go on best player available at your spot. I mean, if you really want to go best player available, I mean, Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher out of Ohio State, was there at our first pick. But again, no one we really loved there at positions of need. Trading back was huge. So, I mean, Nolan, Thomas was a nice lengthy corner. Getting Judkins there, then filling a need at center as well as getting another corner. I don't hate it. If this is the way it went down, I don't hate it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take that. I think I'm really I haven't even looked at a lot of guys yet, but everything I'm hearing about what the Michigan kid, Grant, in the first round, it started. I have to do my own research to actually confirm that. But based off what everybody's saying, it does feel kind of like you're hoping Grant's there at 24. So you can pull the trigger on him. So I would rather, I haven't looked at Nolan either, but once I go through it, I just really want a guy that we feel like is going to be the D tackle we think that we really need in the first round if possible, but we'll see. I'm a Michigan fan. I actually like Nolan. Oh, you like Nolan better than Grant? I don't know much about Nolan. I did watch a little bit of Nolan, and the thing with him is, I don't know, man. When I watched him, he just didn't. I guess my problem is I'm just specifically looking from a pass rush, which I've seen him blow some people up, but I just didn't see. I don't know. He didn't come off the page for me yet. I only watched a little bit. There wasn't much on him. I couldn't find much tape on him, really, which I'll dive in more as we go. We need a running back. We did draft one in that mock.
We did get Judkins in this one. We did get Judkins.
But we'll see. I'll have to find. I take a flyer.
I agree. I thought
I wasn't as big on Edwards. I liked him.
Pretty good. I know he came in as a pretty high recruit. I know he obviously had to split times with Corum and Khalil Mullings. But I don't know. I saw some stuff where if you can get him Nick, if you can get him late or even undrafted free agency,
we'll get you, Steve.
I mean, you're not going to be complaining. You're not going to be complaining about that, and you'll probably be able to get him undrafted as well. I don't know. I just from what I saw when he's on, I do think there's some things there you can work with. Again, is he the most explosive guy? No. I mean, obviously, didn't put up the biggest stats, but he was also a running back for his entire college career, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. When I'm looking at these guys, I'm trying to look at what makes this guy stand out, not just in this draft, but other running backs that I've watched before. Like RJ Harvey, his cutting and his agility is I think the best in the class straight up for that. He's smaller, so that's fair. Usually smaller guys are better at that. But when it comes to Edwards, you're not seeing that from explosiveness. I don't see ton as far as being agile. He seems strong, but I've seen a lot of other running backs in here that just seem tougher than he is. The thing with Edwards that I did notice, though, that I would maybe say is the best of any of the running backs I've seen, is his pass catching is really good. Yeah, that's up there. But his patience for the holes to develop was something that you can see with him that was super apparent when I watched him.
And they call him the Don, so he's got a really cool nickname too.
Yeah. And by the way, everybody, when I say me watching these players and look, I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, really. I could be completely wrong. But hey, we've done this for a few years and we've done pretty solid as far as ultimately our top 5 at each position, but who knows for sure.
What do you think about trading Addison for draft pick? No.
Fuck hell to the no.
I get it.
Dude,
I get it. He does have some off the field stuff, but nah, he's way.
Well, let him get one. I mean, 3 strikes, 3 strikes and you're out. Let him do that because chances are you are not going to get in. I want to just win a championship. Like, yeah, off-season issues are annoying, but if they're not going to take you off the field, if you're not off the field, hey, it is what it is. Like, he's a stud. The way he showed in the end of last season was incredible. He had a 3-week stretch where he was the best wide receiver statistically in the NFL. I think Jordan Addison is super good, and I don't even think we've even seen the most of him yet. I like him too much. And the free 3BS, we need picks.
I mean, that was whatever. Hey, it worked though. Squeaky wheel got the grease, and look what happened after that. He went on. And
I still call. I mean, maybe he did it on purpose, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and either
way, he was freed, and when we found out when he was freed, it was the exact reason why you don't trade him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shit, what he did in college, stop that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nick. Like, I don't believe.
But he just you guys are naive. He just all of a sudden pulled it up when he wasn't getting the ball. Come on, think. I know you love him, but just think deeper about it.
I don't think that's deeper because that's just assuming every single person at any time when they're not playing well or getting the ball or just going to say something.
What happens? Yeah.
No, I don't know anybody that does that. I think there's definitely I think you need to see that there's a great chance that wasn't the case, that he was just saying
it was definitely the case.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It was definitely the case.
Nah. You can't. How can you be that certain?
Because he hadn't tweeted 3-3 in a long ass time.
Who cares? It's still 3-3.
Sure.
Nah, I don't think so.
We'll agree to disagree, even though I'll agree.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, how about this?
Either way, we both agree we're not trading Jordan Addison 100%.
Well, we agree with that. All right, no, I'm not even going to. I was going to do a poll on that, but I was like,
But no matter whether he meant to do it or whether he did not mean to do it, it worked. And he became one of the best receivers. He had his best stretch of game. No matter what, it worked for him. So
this guy, I mean, Jordan Addison, as far as like a player who plays bigger than they are, I mean, I can't even think of anyone that tops him.
Oh God, no!
Like,
no separation,
it's insane. Separation, contesting catches.
Scrawny guy, like
he's the smallest one there, and he's just getting it. Like, dude, his hands are insane. Like, he's so good.
If he was in that Chiefs game last night, there wouldn't have to be a question whether he caught that ball that Xavier Worthy caught. You know, like he brings that thing down.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. I honestly believe he's a wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams. Like straight up, I think he's a wide receiver 1B.
It's only like literally his frame that's keeping people from thinking that he's not. Like that's really what it comes down to. But either way,
even if he said that, I don't think he should. If that's what he meant, I don't think he should have said that. But again, like Bleeding was saying, he was right. Like they did need to do that, and then it became apparent why they needed to do that. Obviously, you shouldn't say anything.
I didn't really have any issue with this whole let's get paid thing when he got drafted. I'm like, I don't think he meant it as in like physical money. I don't know.
It doesn't even matter because he's a stud. Like he's a stud. Unless you think he's gonna pull some Stephon Diggs type stuff, which
his dad might.
I don't know. His dad loves
Twitter. His dad loves Twitter.
He does. And like I said, he was asking for that good redheaded. Two
games, and that's all it takes for Nick to hate Sam Darnold.
I think Darnold had a hell of a season. Overall, like if you just right now look back at Sam Darnold's season, like it was extremely impressive to see him do that because he wasn't supposed to.
No.
Like I don't like he lost those 2 games. I get it. And that's why I wanted people to pull back on the Sam Darnold thing until playoffs. But at the same time, like he exceeded everybody's. There's not a person in here who's like, oh yeah, he's going to bring the Vikings to 14-3. Sam Darnold's I don't know. I can't call him that guy yet, but as far as regular season, that guy. Mother couldn't throw a fish into an ocean.
Yeah, but still put up 3,400 yards and 4,300 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Touchdowns. Like it's.
But hey, to be fair, he was a bust before then.
That is
true. You can see he definitely made a jump up. So when he's on a new team, I'm going to be paying attention, see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If he goes to playoffs again and then he loses, then it's just like another Kirk Cousins type of thing, which
again,
happens
good for some teams that just need stable quarterbacks. But if a team's shooting for the moon trying to win a Super Bowl, probably not going to be your guy. Like that's kind of what it comes. If you need a quarterback,
JJ McCarthy's that guy.
If you're like a new head coach or something, and you just need a quarterback to keep you competitive, that's going to be exactly the guy that you're going to be looking for. And people, and those quarterbacks that you're just looking for to stay competitive, those quarterbacks get paid. Absolutely. So.
Hell yeah, though. Hells yeah. Speaking of JJ giving away, bro, what was all their hidden Casper all over again? Giving away the JJ McCarthy, the guy who I think is going to have really high expectations when it comes to that specific side of the game, as far as playing in playoffs, playing in big moments. Probably going to be shouldering a lot more than he deserves on that front, because that's how he has been. But I do think he's going to be the one for us. So get that hashtag Skols in the comments, like the videos, and subscribe. All that good stuff. What up, Too Evil? Yeah, trade JJ for Wentz. If we could get a first and a third, would you? Ooh, no, I wouldn't, because
you're going to use that first to try to replace Addison, most likely.
Yeah. What's your chances? How you could try 10 times, and how often are you going to get something that impacts your team more than Addison with the first and the third?
I think the only reason that you traded Diggs that year is because you knew you were going into a stacked wide receiver class, and you're like, okay, cool, we can get rid of this guy who doesn't want to be here. Like, that's the thing, is it's different in that scenario. Like Addison, like I truly believe he wants to be here. Like, obviously, like, you're the best wide receiver duo in football. Why would you not want to be here? I don't know. I think he's going to learn. I think, make one mistake, whatever, shame, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So hopefully the second time was his way of like, well, shit, like I can't be doing this stuff anymore. And hopefully,
honestly,
this isn't as like, I just don't think that you would want to give up on Addison to go into this draft that doesn't have any top tier talent at wide receiver. I just don't think you can do that.
Well, you're not going to get an Addison at pick 24. That's the thing. If you were to get or I guess you've got really Mick Mill, the kid from Arizona, he is a stud. He's a stud. There's a couple guys in here that are pretty good. Do I think a lot of them are going to be as good as Addison? I don't know. Like, the chances of you, especially with this team, if you don't hit on wide receiver and we're just stuck here with Justin Jefferson instead of, it's huge that we have Justin Jefferson and Addison, especially for JJ McCarthy. Like, people draft wide receivers over and over again just to get a talent like Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
So that's even the chances of, look at, especially our drafting, how many times, if we would have gotten a first and a third for Jordan Addison, what are our chances that we get anything nearly as impactful as him? Especially since so far in all the drafts, he's by far the best player. Obviously, yeah. I feel good about JJ McCarthy. I think a lot of that will change, but still.
Right. Nah, I think offensively, outside of the trenches, I think you're, I guess, 3 offensive linemen and running back, that offense is set.
Yeah.
And I see Nick talking about Hawk. I get it. He was kind of disappointing last year coming off the knee injury. He had a couple big games, but I don't know. I still think he's fine.
I think he is. I just don't know what you would do. If you got, I would say Hawk was disappointing, which I'm I don't know. That's a hard part, is what is it, Hawk? Is it Sam Darnold, having to build chemistry with these players? We saw that it wasn't Jordan Addison, right? It wasn't Jordan Addison. It was just, he wasn't being targeted. He had the highest, up in that point, I think he had the highest separation percentage in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's another thing too. Is it Hawk or is it more Sam Darnold? As far as the chemistry, Sam Darnold did good overall.
Right. Because we saw it took a little bit of extra time for him and Addison to kind of get on the same page, right? And he just never seemed to get on that same page with Hawkinson, unfortunately. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Anyways, but at the same time, Hawk is getting paid the big bucks. I think it is a fair. He did get hurt too. You don't expect someone to, destroy their knee and stuff like that, and that could end up being a big impact. So it'll be. I'm not gonna I think Hawk could be fine, but I'm not gonna promise you. I'll be watching Hawk next season for sure. I don't know if he's gonna end up being worth what we ended up paying him in his contract and everything. Hopefully, but I'm not banking on that. Gary, you don't trade Addison unless he's being an idiot. Yeah. You give him one more strike. There's no reason to. Why? our offense is just so ready. We don't need that. We might as well fill we're not at the point where we feel like we need to trade someone. We have enough money in free agency to pick up holes. Like the chances of finding another Addison is more difficult than us hitting in free agency on spots that we need. I don't think we need that. Like we go in free agency, we get cornerback taken care of. We go grab a corner. We re-sign Byron Murphy. We go after offensive line. You go in the draft mostly feeling confident about those positions. Hopefully, this is like what we're hoping. We have the money to do it. Obviously, it takes people wanting to come here. And then we go into that draft needing defensive interior mostly and running back. And then you go take care of those positions. And like every spot on our team has potential to be good. And then the next year we'll even have more money. And I don't know. I feel like in 2 years, not this coming up season, but the year after that, I think we're going to be in our stretch of like, this is when we should be winning a Super Bowl. And if we don't, it's bad. And at the end of those like 3 years after that, if we're not doing anything, then you're making some serious decisions. But I really do think that we're setting ourselves up. Kwesi had a brilliant plan as far as opening up cap space and building a really good team. Absolutely. Even if it would be better if he hit his draft picks.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see. And I mean, look, 2 more weeks, 1 more game, 2 weeks from right now, we'll officially be looking towards off season. And I believe the combine will be shortly after, like the next couple weeks after that. So we're about to hit the ground running, man. About to hit the ground running here.
Let's do some giveaway. Giving away the J.J. McCarthy Future of the Minnesota Vikings rookie card. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. All that good stuff. Like Casey said, these next couple weeks is kind of like we have to get through the season, and then off season does start. We'll start looking at free agents, and coming up with our lists and all those things. But the exact date? I don't know.
I mean, normally it's February 27th, so a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. Which then, because then you can start looking at all that type of stuff. Because I think then NFL.com starts putting out their prospect grades and all that type of stuff too.
Well, that's what we were talking about. What's his name? What's the running backs? The North Carolina running back. Hampton. Yeah. We're talking about Hampton. Like he's the kind of guy where you're like, when you watch their tape and stuff, when you watch their tape and stuff, you can tell how fast someone is, but it's like, it's just different. If he runs like, dude, someone says he's projected a 4.40, and I'm like, I don't know about that, but if he does do that, that would be insane. If Hampton runs a 4.40, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know how. It'd be hard to pass him up because he is powerful. Yeah. To be honest, I prefer Hampton. Oh, ooh, dang. I want to see Hampton. If Hampton ran a 4.40, it would be interesting, but Hampton is really good. I do like him. If we did pick him at 24, I would not be mad, but I would be like, we still have a problem on the defensive interior, for sure. Probably, unless we got a steal or whatever. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but we need a running back that will get us 3 yards when we need 7, but will get us 3 yards when we need 1.
Right.
I mean, it would be nice. That's Najee Harris.
Yeah, right. That kind of is Najee.
That's what I'm saying. Like Najee Harris, like if you had him and you had like him and Aaron Jones together would be very solid. But obviously, like I think we go find our future. This draft it's way too loaded at running back to not go grab one in this one. I think
it's really loaded at every position the Vikings are looking for.
Plus, it's kind of the only like D tackles are fun to watch and they're explosive stuff like that. But being able to like get needing a skilled position, which I still do think I'm not sold on Naylor. I still think we could potentially get a wide receiver 3 in this draft as well. Something we could have looked at in the 5th round. I think that's definitely a possibility too, especially if someone's out there worth it. But that was Leroy Horde. Oh, what were we talking about?
The classic. If you need 1 yard, I'll get you 3. If you need 4 yards, I'll get you 3.
Hey, Dalton, what up, bro? We need a dominant second wide receiver.
Well, third wide receiver.
Third wide receiver. We're feeling confident. We just had the Jordan Addison discussion. Jordan Addison is dominant. He had a stretch where he was the best statistical wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah,
probably still up there. I don't know where to check, but he's probably still up there in the top for or up there in the top as far as creating separation.
2 guards and a center help the run game, draft a running back, bring back Showtime. Yep, I'd be down with that. Nice. Absolutely.
We need the trenches, man. I'm gonna be if we go in this free agency and our offense, if we leave this free agency and we're like pissed at our offensive line, I'm gonna it's gonna hurt. Like this free agency does feel like there's a lot weighing on it because we need to go get a stud. Like I get it, getting Grenard and Van Ginkel and stuff like that, and Kwesi hitting on that was huge. But I'm like, at least you need to get like a couple guys like we know they're gonna be good, not like these guys are gonna be better than you think. Maybe, I mean, if you can hit on them, but man, nah.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I mean Jordan Addison missed a couple games and never really got in sync with Darnold, and still had like 900 plus yards and 10 touchdowns still or something like that. Like,
and I can see how people will say because of his size and he's smaller. How can be, dude? That dude is he's up there with Justin Jefferson from a route running standpoint specifically. Like Jordan Addison's one of the best route runners in the entire NFL, straight up. He has one of the better hands in the NFL, straight up. I'll say it right now. I think he probably had less drops than Justin Jefferson did this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm taking Justin Jefferson, but Jordan Addison is nothing to be messed with here. He's a wide receiver 1B in my opinion. I think he could dominate a game, and he's showed it in college. He's shown domination there too, but he's shown it here.
Best wide receiver in the country a couple years ago, or
he won with
USC.
Jordan Addison's that guy. He's that guy. I'll die on that. I'll die on that hill. He showed some stretches this year that were stretches that were better than anyone else in the NFL. So I gotta go with Jordan Addison's it. He's it. Him as a wide receiver 3 would be absolutely insane because at that point we'd have 3 wide receiver 1s. But
yeah.
Anyway, they say free agent interiors is the way to go because they are a mature. Yeah. And that's how I kind of feel. All right. And we'll do this giveaway. That's how I feel about corners as well. It does feel like you're just better off getting a corner that you know is good in free agency. And because everyone says it's like the hardest position to develop is corner outside of maybe quarterback. But honestly,
Yeah, I mean, it does feel that way. And again, I mean, there's nothing unless you're going to get one of those elite day one starting corners, which obviously we've seen, multiple of those guys. Or if you can get yourself a Travis Hunter, like that type of guy, just someone you is going to come in and produce like right away.
Yeah.
But there are just too many horror stories of people that'll take a corner top 3 and they just don't pan out. I mean,
well, a lot of the horror stories come from our own team. Like, how many corners have we drafted early for them to not be that good? A lot. That's the thing that scares me. Everyone wants a corner in the first round. I'm like, dude, I mean, how many corners can we list off in the last ever since Xavier Rhodes?
Trey Waynes.
Trey Waynes, Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes. Who was the guy that ended up
passing away
from not Kyrie Jackson, the other one from
Gladly.
ECU. Jeff
Gladly.
Jeff
Gladly. So yeah, I mean, those are 3 names out of the last like 10 years or whatever.
And even Rhodes had like 3 years where he was dominant, but outside of those 3 years, like he was just kind of average.
Yeah. But so that's the thing. That's why I'm like free agency, go get corner, go get and I do like Brian Thomas Jr. a lot. I like Brian Thomas Jr. and I'm still telling y'all I don't know if I'd rather have him than Jordan Addison.
And Norris, I agree 100%. Buy the interior offensive line, draft defensive running back. I agree. But corner, I know DJ Reed's like 5'8", but I still want DJ Reed.
Yeah, I don't know. Go get. Yeah, I'm taking. We'll kind of go in here eventually and go through all the guys that we think we should go get and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get this going. Giving away the JJ McCarthy rookie card. Hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video and subscribe. Starting it right now. Yeah, I would take DJ Reed in a heartbeat. There's a lot of – that's why I'm like – I feel way more comfortable doing that than taking a chance on a corner in free agency.
Yeah.
George Blood. Again, George, I don't even know if I saw you in here.
A little shorter, but doesn't matter.
Oh, I think I did see you in here. Never mind. Yeah, no, I'm taking I'm hoping. I don't know. I think I'm starting to get like too excited for free agency, thinking we're gonna make all these big moves like that, just for us to not. Keeping on rolling here, George. I don't know if you said anything. Actually, I did hear.
George
I remember.
We're good.
Raymond.
Been a minute.
It's been a minute. Raymond, are you in here?
Yes, give me this lineup: Murphy Jr., DJ Reed, and Mekhi Blackman as your 3 starters at corner.
So, did you hear?
Please.
They said projection for Murphy is about 17 mil a year.
Yeah,
man, it's hard for. I'm still like, man, he impressed me at the end of the season, but I ain't gonna lie, his beginning of the season still scares me to pay him almost.
He's like what,
20 million a year.
26 years old though. He's still young.
27.
Hopefully he's starting to kind of hit his stride here.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'd be like, okay, I'd probably take it, but I ain't gonna lie to you. It would I would be he's in here.
He just turned 20. He like just
I wouldn't feel confident. Like there'd be me going into next season, like I hope he plays like he did at the end of the last season, which he could. But man, the beginning of the season was just not great for him. But then he was the best cornerback on our team for sure. Hey, Gary. All right, let's roll again. Gary, I'm assuming you're in here. Yep, you're in here.
A little bit ago. Yep.
Boom. Dan
was in here
he's in here.
A couple minutes ago.
All right, last one. Who we getting? I'm present physically. Hey, Squad 51, are you still in here? That'd be a new one. I don't know. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I'm going to go again. I have a feeling you're not here. If you do pop in, I'll just add you to the list. Squad, if you are in here, let's see what we got. Boom. Boom. Barber. Hey, Barber's in here. All right. Let's get it rolling. So everyone that won that round made it to the duck race. At least you have B-Flow. Yeah.
And that's the huge thing. Again, like I've had my complaints with Flores at times, but I got to, like I said, keep reminding myself this defense had holes all over the place. He still made it work. But the good thing with continuity is now he's going to, again, the same defensive system, and he knows exactly what we need. So it's, I mean, honestly, this beginning of the offseason went just about as well as it could for kind of how our season went. So love to see it.
9 for JJ, the pizza giving McCarthy.
Do it.
JJ McCarthy. That's one thing about JJ McCarthy is like he's the guy you want to do so good just because of his character. Like he just seems like the nicest dude ever. So you hope just off of that he does good. But man, you gotta be a little nasty out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Always when there's a JJ McCarthy, we'll get you, Nick.
2 normal ducks, top hat duck, pirate duck, and then panda duck.
What do you think? Go again?
One more time, yeah.
Viking duck. You have to go with Viking duck.
Yeah. King duck. Eagle
Let's
duck.
Get it. Gary with the early lead. Rocker duck. I don't even know what you want to call that one.
This is pretty even.
Yeah, pretty even early. Blunt in the back. King
Gary,
Blunt.
Sorry, Gary, you're going too fast, too soon.
The last one. Who won our last one? Whoever won our last one started in head and won. It happens. It does happen.
This is really even. Is Gary gonna go start to finish here? Is he gonna just run it?
Is he? Got a little boost.
No.
Barber.
No.
Oh, Raymond. Viking. He can't beat the Vikings.
That's not rigged.
Can't beat the Vikings.
That's not rigged.
Let's go, Raymond. Let's go. JJ McCarthy card in the books. Raymond, I know you've won before, right? It's been a while. Let's see if I have your information real quick. Hold on. Raymond, I do not think we'll probably do somewhere. Raymond, if you want to email us, just so I think you've won something before, but just so I have a good address, I'm going to put our email in here. There's our email, Raymond. Just send us, or I guess we're sending it everywhere. Just send it on, send us our email, good address to send that card to. I'm sure I have you somewhere. I just don't remember where it is. Or contact us, however. But, yeah. We'll get that out to you right away.
Hell yeah. Anything else before we hop off here?
Not too much, man. Just it'll be interesting. Super Bowl, obviously, we'll be here next Monday. Probably talk a little bit more about that game. But man, I'm ready to jump into the off season and really kind of dive into free agency and what this Viking team needs to be as good as I honestly think it can be, especially in the next couple of years. But
I mean, last offseason was
the real
first transformative one. Move on from Kirk, clear up, get the dead cap out of the way. This one is, like you said, kind of where you hit the ground running. You got the money, you have the culture and success built here already. Obviously, you got to find that success in the playoffs, as a couple people tell us every week. But still, at the same time, you have the pieces here. You have the money to add more pieces to what we already have. It's gonna be a fun offseason, man. As long as it all works out, I think it will, because people want to be here. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be, it's going to be one of the most fun off seasons we've had, and let's roll. And it's going to be signing a bunch of just big fat dudes who can just be tough in the trenches. So
that's all we need, man. That'd be huge.
It's pretty
My
great.
birthday's coming up. I get a JJ. So Sarah, let us know when you're. Of course, I'll hook you up, Sarah. Let me know. And Barber, I got you. I know you already have a JJ McCarthy card. I'll give you a JJ McCarthy card, but obviously I might be able to find something else for you too. So I'll be looking around here soon.
We're sorry, Gary. We're sorry. I know we took the Thursday nights away, but we're still working on some other stuff. So
we're on every Wednesday on Bleacher Report still. So we're here Mondays, Bleacher Report. We are on every single Wednesday at 6 Central. 6 Central. So the same time as this one. So the same time, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think so.
Yep.
Or is it 6:30?
No, it's 6.
Yeah. So same time on Bleacher Report. Go check us out there as well. And then, yeah, Thursdays, we're working on some more content and stuff outside of this. Well, like actual videos and stuff like that. So changing things up a little bit for the off season, but still on here every single Monday. So,
absolutely. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. As he said, Wednesday night, Bleacher Report, 6 p.m. Central. Otherwise, see you right here next Monday. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Skol Vikes.